Welcome in, everybody. Welcome into the normal Sunday live stream. But we're doing this thing on Monday. For everybody new tuning into the channel, if you appreciate the content, don't forget, hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm just noticing sometimes when I put these out, you reuse features when you go on a live stream. And I'm noticing that the title, the thumbnail is correct, but the title is incorrect. Bitcoin and crypto pumping, that was from last week. We'll fix that. We'll get that fixed. Thank you to everyone who's tuning in live. So basically, you know, and it actually worked out better for my schedule. I actually want to try to sometimes do these typical Sunday live streams on a Monday instead. There's really not much of a difference, right? When I do the live streams on a Sunday, we'll catch the candle close typically as it happens and speak to it. But there's really no difference between that and 22 hours later, because I'm doing this a little earlier than I would on a Sunday. There's no difference between that and doing it 22 hours later and doing it on a Monday, because all you have is 22 more hours of price action. Now, what I wanted to say is one of the exciting things about this weekly close is that not only do we have a weekly close, but we also have a 2-week close. And you guys know, if you've been here for a little while, some of the charts that I look at, I really like looking at a 10-day, okay? And also we had a 10-day close on some charts that we'll take a look at. I counted up, I actually misquoted it. I said that I would have around 24 charts to take a look at. I believe I have 21 charts that we're gonna run through, and then there will be time at the end, like there always is, to jump to a live Q&A session. And, you know, we can go through any charts that I haven't had an opportunity to take a look at that you'd like to see. Welcome in, Ugos. Glad to see you, brother. Yeah, we can go through any charts that we haven't had a chance to speak to. So a lot of the charts that I'm going to speak to, you know, they are key charts that we look at every week. These are things that I need to hammer home on and share price development with you so that you understand what is going on. Things are looking very good. And then there's also going to be some new charts that we haven't looked at, and some charts that we have looked at, but it's been quite some time, and I feel that it's time for us to revisit some of these. So with that being said, let's get into it. Now we always start off with Bitcoin. This is a weekly view. Now we don't like to see that the 50-week is strongly curling down towards the 200. We don't want to see a death cross on the weekly, but I am very much in the camp that believes that what we're going to see is some bullish price action to push up here ultimately and then break it. And really, I'm targeting, if you saw one of my videos that I put out last week of examining the monthly views, I'm really anticipating Bitcoin to start entering that $28,000 to $32,000 area, pressing up against towards the end of this year here to avoid this death cross. But very good to see price continuation. We can sort of see this rounding bottom here. It's good to see price continuation to the upside. We want to get above the 200 simple moving average. I've spoken to that plenty of times. If we go to the price indicators here, we can see, let's look at the MACD. Let's zoom up on it. You can see we're well below zero, but we're curling up, right? Anytime on the weekly when we've had a strong cross up on the MACD and we've been above zero, this action here, and this action here, if we go back in time, you'll see they correspond to this large movement here, this large movement here, and now we're just waiting for this thing to get above zero. So that's good to see. The RSI is in a relatively neutral, slightly oversold territory at 39. Stochastic RSI looks great. If anything, it's getting a little hot. It's in very positive territory, actually approaching 100. Let's look at the 2-week and see what we can decipher differently here. Let's get off the moving averages. Now, what's encouraging to see here in particular, nothing really that I want to comment. Stochastic RSI looks fine. Same comments on the RSI, Relative Strength Index. What's really good to see here, you can see that we flattened out on the MACD and we're going to get a curl up, right, which would be very bullish for price action. So that's very good to see. Let's jump into the Heikin Ashi candle. So you guys have been here before. This is literally just going into trading view and changing from a candlestick view from candles into Heikin Ashi. These are the color of the candlestick dictates where momentum is going, right? You can see during this large fall, it was all red, right? Green signals up. Typically when we turn green, okay, typically we see some sizable moves up, okay? Sizable moves up. Sizable moves up, okay? So we want to see green Heikin-Ashi candles continue to print. So good to see that, mess that up. Good to see that we still had a green candlestick print. Now, it does look like we have a red candlestick printing at the moment, so we'll have to see how that develops. Let's see how the 2-week looks on the Heikin-Ashi. I don't know that we've looked at this before. Okay, so we have a red beginning to print here. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this chart. Now, this is something that I have not spoken to in a long time. And I brought it up on a live stream pretty recently. It actually might have been last week's live stream. But I've tweeted about this in the past. Other good technicians will cover this. This is the ADX and DI. This is commonly called the Williams alligator. I'm kind of pointing out here, anytime you see the green cross above the red, it has to be above this 20. This 20 line is very key. It's the trigger area for this indicator, right? Anytime we've been above 20 and the green's been above red, we've seen, and the arrows are showing this, we've seen massive moves up in price. And I like looking at this on a line chart. It's a little bit different of a view. It's good to mix up sort of, it gets you to look at things differently and really appreciate the chart more when you kind of mix up, you know, we're looking at candlesticks here, we're looking at Heikin-Ashi candle here, we're looking at a line chart here. It really makes you appreciate the charts that much more. But anyway, it looks like the red is crossing down at the moment and the green is beginning to cross up towards, you see how it's had some price indicator movement up towards the 20, right? So I would suspect, and again, this is a weekly view, I would suspect so long as bullish momentum continues in the market, which I am in the camp of, I would suspect that going into the end of this year that we are going to see a positive cross in the Williams alligator. So keep an eye on that. It's a really important indicator that some technicians have spoken to. I haven't seen a lot of technicians speak to this more recently, but keep an eye on this one on the weekly. Now, this, you know, has a lot of historical significance. I have covered this in great detail on this channel. This is the 12-hour view on Bitcoin. And what we're seeing here is very, very good. You can see we've pressed up against here multiple times, but we're sort of sustaining price action here. Now, right before I went on to go live, as chance would have it, as luck would have it, we started getting a little bit of a correction here. And you can see Bitcoin's down 2%. But we don't want to pay attention to the fluctuations in the daily day. What we want to do very systematically, robotically, unemotionally is view the charts and allow it to dictate to us what overall it's indicating to us, okay? In terms of probabilities in either direction of where price is likely to go. And that's why it's so important to zoom out and look at some of these more macro perspective charts. And for me to, I mean, literally the chart, the data is speaking for itself. I'm just a translator. That's all I'm doing. I'm translating the data and communicating it to you in terms of what it's saying. I'm not giving you my biased view that I want everything to go to $1 million. Okay, that's not what I'm doing. What I'm doing is simply just interpreting the chart. Okay, but the 12-hour view, regardless, does have a lot of historical significance. What's good to see in the 12-hour view, not only are we sustaining price action right around the 200 SMA, but the 50 is beginning to curl up, right? So hypothetically, and what I believe will happen, as we continue to consolidate here and move up, what's going to happen is the 50, we're going to get our golden cross, which is big because that bullish momentum in the smaller time frames will continue to bleed over into the higher time frames so long as it is sustained. But what it's also going to do, and this is equally as important, you got to watch for this, golden crosses are not significant. They're meaningless unless the 200 begins to flatten out and then curl up, and we should start to see that. Meaning, if we got a golden cross on any time frame, it could be the 12-hour, it could be the weekly, the daily. If the 200 SMA is doing this, and we get a cross above like this with the 50, that's not gonna go well. Okay, we need the 200 to flatten out and curl up as the 50 crosses above. That's what we need to see. Okay, maybe on some of the really small micro cap crypto projects, you could see it curling down and the 50 curling up, and it ends up playing out really well. But on most charts, whenever you see that 200 curling down and you get the golden cross, it never ends well. It results in a short-term spike in price, but ultimate downfall. Now, we did get a little bit of a fake out here. The last time we actually got our golden cross on the 12-hour, and I would encourage you guys, go through my channel and look for the Bitcoin chart no one is discussing. And I did 2 videos, really. There was a follow-up video. Learn about the statistical significance, okay? Again, I'm just interpreting the chart. I give you probabilities based on everything. Learn the statistical significance of the 12-hour chart. It will benefit you as an investor. You can see this was a fake out. The 200 began to sort of flatten out. We got the golden cross, and then we plummeted back down below. And this was all the way back in March. So 8 months later, this is very significant. 8 months later, we look like we may be, thumbs up, everybody, appreciate it. 8 months later, it looks like we may be getting a golden cross. So keep an eye on that on the 12-hour. Let's take a look at Ethereum on the weekly. Okay, now my suspicion, this is very good. You can see we broke out above this descending resistance, right? Now the big test for Ethereum, yes, we have this red resistance. I have this drawn around 1800, right? So that is an area you're going to want to watch for. But the bigger area, okay, what do you think I'm going to say? Like, what do you think the biggest area here is, what I'm about to say? Correct. It's the descending resistance. We want to break out above this. Typically, price likes to back test and move up. Now, one thing I'm going to hit on, I might actually make a video dedicated to this. I'm not sure how I want to do this, but it is you can't argue otherwise. If people who are bearish on price action and are calling this a dead cat bounce, we as bulls can't invalidate that argument until we begin to take out these lower highs, right? So all the way as we continue pushing up, right? You could see on Twitter, you could hear other people say this is dead cat bounce. And quite frankly, I can't validate otherwise until we break this lower high, okay? We break that lower high. Now the argument becomes a lot weaker, right? The only thing they could say is that maybe we see a double top. But once this breaks, now it's new all-time highs, okay? So keep an eye, because the people that are in disbelief right now, the people that think we're just going to head so much lower, the clickbait crypto fear porn from people with 500,000 YouTube subscribers, that some of which I've been subscribed to since 2018 and I've had to unsubscribe to, not because their opinions differed. I value differences of opinion. Differences of opinion add value if the differences of opinion are based on logic and reasoning, right? It can get you to think about things differently and look at things differently. But when you're subscribed to a channel for 4 years and what you see is that person putting out clickbait, and they take knee-jerk reactions based on the market, and now their opinions are based on emotion, and they're not providing concrete rationale, factual, of why something is definitively going to 14,000, and they don't say a probability of it going to 14,000. They say it is going to 14,000. You lost me. I'm out. Like, I'm out forever. You've lost me. But watch, those people will be in disbelief as we continue higher, and they will be calling for a dead cat bounce all the way up into these areas. And I'm saying, what I'm saying is they are valid in what they're saying until their argument becomes invalid. And the way it becomes invalid is you begin to take out these lower highs. You begin to form new higher highs. A high up here, right? A low down here that's higher than this low and this low, right? 3 lower highs, 2 higher highs, and an invalidation of this lower high. Now the argument becomes a lot less convincing that it's a dead cat bounce, okay? So Ethereum's looking very bullish. Let's look at the price indicators. My apologies. Price indicators looking good. Stochastic RSI is very healthy, similar to Bitcoin. MACD's curling up, positive, getting closer and closer to get above 0, which would be great. Hey, Brian, welcome in, brother. And what else was I going to say? The RSI has gotten above what I've signaled as a key area around 42. We're up at 46. We need to break this descending resistance, though. Similar to price action, you see how RSI's continued. I've hit on this before. See these lower highs here? We need to start coming up here and getting some highs to take out this lower high here, and so on and so forth, okay? So you want to look for that on the relative strength index. Let's just take a quick look at price action on the 2-week. What do we have on the 2-week? And actually, I want to look at the MACD with you as well. 2 week, again, just all it's doing is cutting the candlesticks, the number of them in half. It's just consolidating price actions. So this is looking very bullish that we got. Remember when we were down here? Guys, we were down here for many weeks, and I said we needed to push up. We got a strong push up. Look at the volume here. Look at that volume bar way down here. What's very encouraging, look at this MACD about to curl up. Very positive on the 2 week chart. Again, and this is why I had someone respond to a tweet. I had someone respond on Twitter recently that I had just commented before I went live, and they were saying, oh, the dollar's going down and the stock market's going up and crypto's just going sideways. Like, what are you looking at? Like, what are you looking at? There's altcoins that are popping off. Band Protocol just did a 3x. Loopring, some of the ones I've been commenting on, they've been popping up in value. Matic is up towards breaking that 105 up towards $1.34 I've been speaking about forever. Look at the strength of Ethereum relative to Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance is breaking down in the descending triangle that I've been speaking to for months. And then I show you all these weekly charts, and I've even shared with you monthly charts, and you zoom out and look at the higher time frames. And this is where being able to read a chart benefits you as an investor. You just get unemotional and you look at it and say, yeah, logically speaking, I mean, the facts are here, and the facts are telling me that most likely over the coming several weeks, things are going to continue churning up, and things are going to begin over the coming months to invalidate the dead cat bounce argument, and we are on our path towards new all-time highs headed into next year. So that's why it pays to be able to read charts. Guys, we were looking at this chart when Binance was down here, right? And what did I say? This looked like a flat top and an ascending line here. And I mean, I even drew the arrows for you guys, right? And we spoke to this, and I said, it looks like an ascending triangle to me, right? Now, someone could technically say, oh, this is a bear pennant, we're dropping to sub-zero, and it would, you could technically draw that target, but like I said earlier, I mean, that would just be a foolish argument based on where price is at. Thumbs up, everybody. Appreciate the support. Helps the channel get spread throughout the community. But anyway, you can see that price is breaking out right now. Now, what you want to watch for, and it's currently in the midst of doing this, and what is bullish, again, I've said this so many times before, you guys should be able to complete my sentences for me. When we break out of a pattern like this, what typically likes to happen? Price likes to backtest prior resistance and form it as support, right? And we're in the midst of doing that before making our next leg up. What I don't, again, there's a probability for everything. I, on this channel, am not going to tell you certainties, unlike some people, okay? What I'm not telling you is that this can't happen, that we can't re-enter or even go lower. I'm not telling you that that can't happen. What I'm saying is that's less likely. What's more likely is that we could come down here, wick off here in this area, and then continue up. That is what I think is most likely based on the pattern that is present and the way that price is going right now. Matic, beautiful. I signaled $1.34. We hit $1.31. Remember, I have always said that really, especially the lower in market capitalization you get with a lot of these assets, we're not talking about specific dollar points that are resistance or support, right? We're talking about zones of support, zones of resistance, right? So we hit just about the $1.34. Now, what am I expecting here? Now, there's no reason this thing can't just continue blasting off and going higher, right? But what I would expect, now that we've made this massive move up and you can see the volume coming in down here, I would expect us just to consolidate a little bit before then moving up towards close to $2. $1.76 is what I have drawn, or $1.74 is what I have drawn here, okay? This would be very bullish for Matic if we just sort of took our time, built some stair steps up, right? If we did the following, if we kind of one up here, consolidate, one up here, consolidate, one up here, consolidate, and continued moving up. That would be massively bullish, okay? Not every crypto project's going to pull a 3x overnight like Band Protocol did, okay? That thing was in a massive, nearly year-long falling wedge, okay? So that's why it had, and it was a very small market cap. It still is. It was at 300 something. So we just have to be patient, but everything here is looking great. Let's look at the price indicators real quick on the weekly. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, RSI is at 61. Stochastic RSI looks great. I don't know why I don't have the MACD down there. Let's look at the 2-week real quick. There's not as much price data on Matic, so sometimes when you get to these higher time frames, I mean, look at this thing. Imagine being invested way back here, right? I remember when Matic was at 30 cents, and actually it retested down to 30 cents. But I remember it was in the 20 to 30 cent area, and it had gotten listed on Coinbase, and it was getting a massive pump up. But this thing is beautiful, beautiful market structure here. Solana. So I felt it would be very appropriate to quick cover Solana and FTX because there's a lot of FUD surrounding both projects. You know, interestingly enough, as we're about to sort of blast off, and we are in the midst, in my opinion, we've already bottomed and we're in the midst of completing our 5th final Elliott wave going into next year. It's interesting that there's a lot of FUD coming out right now, right around this time, right? We had Gala with that massive dump and spike back up in price. Now we've got FTX is going insolvent and their ties to Solana, and we see the price action here. Really interesting, right? So Solana, really what you want to watch for here, this is on the weekly, you just want this band of support to hold. You don't want to start dropping below, you know, like 24 bucks, 23, $24, right? You want this green band of support to hold. Now, there are some wicks down here closer to 18 to $20, but you really want to see this price area hold. One of the things, yeah, you can see, look, the stochastic RSI looks really healthy. We do see, look at this, we see some positive divergence on the RSI here. MACD is curling up, which looks really good, but you can see the positive, the bullish divergence even better on the 3-day time frame. You can see the RSI. What do I mean by that for everybody who doesn't understand what bullish divergence is? Again, guys, I hate to repeat myself, but appreciate the support. If you could just click the little thumbs up, really appreciate it. Thumbs up, please. What do I mean by bullish divergence on the RSI? What I mean is I annoyed at least one person with that because, look, I hate coming on and saying hit the thumbs up all the time. Like, I hate interrupting my flow of conversation. But when I see like 8 or 10 people in here and there's like 2 or 4 likes, like that doesn't work for me. Like, if you appreciate the content, it takes no effort whatsoever, right? Anyway, you can see that RSI is moving up. What does this mean in layman's terms? What it means is strength is building within the price. The relative strength in price is building. But what's price doing? Well, price is inarguably going down and then just chopping around and going sideways, right? It's actually decreasing in value. As the strength, that means that seller exhaustion is occurring, and there's a lot less strength behind these sells, and eventually this thing's just going to give up to the other side, go up, okay? More than likely, okay? No certainties, just probabilities. Let's look at FTX. We are holding on to support here. We better hold 20 bucks because if we lose $20, this is on the weekly, if we lose $20 on FTX, and you can see, I'm sure there's bullish divergence on this too. So many charts have bullish divergence. Actually, the way I would draw this descending resistance would be like this, which we've already, we were just about breaking out. We just couldn't hold it, okay? Anyway, we better hold 20 bucks because if we don't hold 20 bucks, I see a straight shot down to 14 and then potentially 10 or 11, okay? Let's look at the indicators here. Let's go on a smaller time frame. I bet you there's bullish divergence and I didn't even look at it. And there is because everything has bullish divergence. Look at the increasing. Of course, we sort of fell apart there, but this is still increasing in value. The RSI is going up as price has been going down. Okay, so there's still some bullish divergence there. So keep an eye on ticker symbol FTT, FTX. Bitcoin dominance. You guys know that every single week we come on here and talk about what's going on Bitcoin dominance. In short, wow, Reef's having a good day. I actually just tweeted out there was some unusual price and volume activity on Reef. I was loading up. For all those who haven't seen my video on Reef, you might want to check that out. I think that that project has a lot of potential to climb well into the top 100, and it's like sitting at 160 or 170 right now. We're up 14% today. I was loading up in the low 0.5 cent area, so that's good to see. Anyway, where are we at here? Okay, so the reason I wanted to bring this up, well, actually, I don't need to, right? You can see the percentage here. We're at 40.56%, okay? Where's John at? John always yells at everybody to hit the thumbs up button, and he's not here. John, I need you, brother. You're like the enforcer for the thumbs up button. As soon as you drop a comment and say, like, hit the thumbs up button, everybody starts hitting thumbs up. No one is fucking hitting the thumbs up button. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate your support. Anyway, I don't understand people sometimes. I don't understand you guys. Let's actually just focus on price action. Let's not look at indicators. We just printed a weekly candlestick. Now, the blue circles are indicative of hitting this zone multiple times. Every time we hit that zone multiple times, it continues to increasingly weaken, okay? I've theorized. I'm actually not theorizing anything. The odds are in our favor based on charts and data and history, not my personal opinion, that when we come down here for the 5th independent time, okay, this will break. My full expectation is this will break, and we're going to touch down to these levels of our all-time lows in Bitcoin dominance we haven't seen since 2018, January. I was just a mini bull god. I wasn't even crypto bull god at that point. I wasn't even on Twitter at that point. I was just educating myself on crypto at that point. Wasn't even invested in the market at that point. I didn't start investing in the market. I didn't start to put $1 into this market until it was late first quarter, I think. Late first quarter of 2018. So I've been here for a long time, all things considered, relative to a lot of other people. So keep an eye on this. Let's take a look at the 2-week. And then we'll take a look at the 10-day as well. Yeah, so this to me is just setting up for a drop. Let's look at the I love the 10-day on this chart for whatever reason. I just like, I think it was this chart. Yeah, MACD's starting to curl down again. We just printed this brand new candlestick. But like I said, these patterns have a tendency to fake people out. Because look at what happened here, right? I'll have to go back and troll him a little bit. I'm actually friends, or not friends, but I follow him on Twitter. There's another TA guy. I'll leave his name out, but he had commented when we were here, right? And this happens to every respectable TA person. I told you, I mean, point blank, and you can go back to my tweets. I'm always going to own up to everything. The correction that we saw in Bitcoin, this extended flat wave correction, faked me out. I didn't see this coming. I was wrong. I thought we were hitting our blow off top end of 2021, very beginning of 2022, like the first quarter. I think I said like January, February, maybe March. I was wrong. Clearly, every technical analyst has good calls and bad calls, right? You got to own up to it. But so this guy, he was looking at this pattern, right? And we had the lower highs and a flat bottom. And as soon as we did this, right, he was calling for this. And I was like, no. No, you're not correct, sir. Sir, you are not correct. Well, what happened? We re-entered the pattern and have since remained in the pattern, right? So this commonly happens within patterns where they temporarily invalidate the descending triangle / bear pennant. In this case, it invalidates the pattern. But then when it re-enters it, as soon as we re-enter the pattern, which is a clear signal that it was a fake out, this thing has an extremely high likelihood of following the path of what the pattern, the original pattern, is dictating. Make sense? So since we temporarily invalidated a bear flag and we have now re-entered the bear flag, there's a very high probability, no certainties again on this channel, just because I don't have 512,000 subscribers on my channel, I'm not going to state certainties. There's only probabilities, my friends. You can tell I'm real irritated about that because this is the second time he's done that. I tweeted at him last year about it, and I told him that it would come back to bite him the next time he would do something like that, and it's coming back to bite him. So I'll make sure to bring it up again and again and again because he's got a large following base, and people who are subscribed to his channel deserve a lot better than that. Anyway, so hopefully that made sense, and what that's saying is since we re-enter the pattern that we believe this to be, there's a high likelihood that we're going to break down since this is a descending triangle. The DXY, now I had tweeted out there's clear signs that the DXY has topped, right? And there's plenty of other charts people have covered out there. I know that I am subscribed to the, I put this on Twitter a few times. Look, I pay $8 a month. $8 a month is a drop in the bucket, okay? $8 a month for most people is a drop in the bucket, okay? And so I pay $8 a month. And I get a weekly newsletter from TechDev. And in that newsletter is, to me, invaluable information from a technician whom I respect, right? All of his viewpoints, again, I may not like 100% agree with. I can't think of a technician where I've read every single thing they've ever tweeted and I've agreed with it 100%. Okay? But it doesn't mean I agree with everything he says, but I do agree with a fair amount of what he says. And I also find his analysis very thought-provoking and very deep and insightful. And one of the things he's pointed out is why the DXY is top. So there's other technicians like himself with a weekly newsletter or on Twitter or wherever who are pointing things. The other thing I want you guys to consider, okay, let's actually take a really simplistic view of the DXY and why. And again, if the DXY is topping, right, what is this? Am I praying to Allah? What is this? I don't know what that was. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in. But what I want to do is explain that. Oh, getting lost here. Okay, what I wanted to say was that it's good if the dollar index is topping because it has an inverse relationship with assets, the stock market, as well as crypto, okay? So as the DXY is correcting, if we believe it's going to have a hard correction, that means that assets like crypto should have a hard rally, a hard increase in value. And historically, when we go back in time, and I'm showing it here, whenever we've had these harsh corrections in the dollar index, the strength of the dollar, crypto has seen massive runs, okay? It has far outpaced equities, okay? If you're happy, let me just tell you something. If you're watching this channel and you're happy with a 5, 6, 7, 8% annual return on your investments, you clearly haven't studied this market enough because you should be outpacing. You should be outpacing that. I mean, I think in general you should be outpacing that. But this asset class has the potential to actually hedge your risks, and you can put a small portion of your investment portfolio in here and do far better than getting 5, 6, 7, or 8% in a year. But anyway, I want to take a look at this in a very simplistic view and point out something that I was examining, okay? So as you can see in the DXY, what are we doing here? We are building the basic building blocks of a bullish narrative. This is a parabolic run, and they're also stair steps up, right? What are you noticing about this recent stair step up? Does anything look different than back here? Let me explain to you what I see. When we created this high here, how many candlesticks did it consolidate in before we moved up? 3 candlesticks of consolidation before a new all-time high. We topped here. We had 1, 2, 3, and then we had 2 large movements up. Okay, so we consolidated for like 4 weeks and then a new all-time high. We moved up here, a new all-time high. What did? We consolidated for about 4 weeks. The 5th week, nope, still not there. By the 6th or 7th week, we created a new all-time high. We moved up here, okay, right here, we created a new all-time high. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're on our 6th week of consolidation. Not only that, but you'll notice during the consolidation and prior stair steps up, what did you also denote? We were moving up eventually after a short period of time, right? Moving up, moving up. All we've been doing is going down. This is all we've been doing is going down, okay? And not only that, but if you look at the formation of this candlestick here, this is I believe, I'd want to Google this real quick to make sure, but I believe this is a hanging man doji, I believe. And I may look that up. You can fact check me because I might be incorrect on the name, but I believe this is a is it a hanging man or gravestone? See, and this is where, I forget the name of this, but a gravestone doji essentially, I don't know that this has to be a red wick. This basically the premise of a gravestone doji, it's a trend reversal candlestick where you have this long wick up. Okay, there's buyer exhaustion, and then we have this little candlestick, little candle body right down here, right? And that's what that is. I have to look up the technical name for this, but put the technical name aside. That doesn't even matter. Okay, the point is this candlestick is telling you a story. All right, this weekly candlestick is telling you we opened here at the top of the green body. We came all the way up here. Seller exhaustion came all the way back down. Excuse me, we opened down here at the bottom of the green candle. Sorry. We opened at the bottom of the candle, bottom of the green body, at the bottom of the green body. We went all the way up here. Seller exhaustion came down and closed just slightly above where we opened with a really thin green body, okay? There's seller exhaustion. So I see a lot of weakness in the DXY, which is good for all asset values, equities, and crypto in particular. Total crypto market cap. We're going to cover these 2 charts, and then I have a few more to get through. But before I go to the few more, I'm going to pause and see what questions that people might have, because I've been talking for a long period of time. I'm full of a lot of energy today. I slept really well last night, had a nightmare in the middle of the night, woke up and swung my arm around and hit my light shade on the nightstand there. Like, nailed it. Did catch it, though. I hit it, and then I caught it before it fell. It was pretty interesting. Hey, welcome in, Steady. Gravestone. Thank you, my friend. Hanging man is the opposite. Okay, thank you. I forget. Like, sometimes I just forget the terminology with some of those candlesticks, and I have to look it up. But as long as you understand the general concept of what that picture, what that candlestick represents, who the fuck cares what the name of it is, as long as you can identify the candlestick and say, oh yeah, based on this candlestick, oh my God, seller exhaustion, thin body here, chances are more movement to the downside, okay? More likely. No certainties, but probabilities, all right? So, anywho, getting to the total cryptocurrency market cap on the weekly, taking a look at this, I don't know why the hell everyone's so bearish. I keep hitting on this. Let's just look at price action. We literally came down and just barely touched our prior all-time high from our prior cycle, because right now we've been in a massive bearish correction. I know that's going to trigger some people. We have not been in a bear market. I want to repeat this again. I love to trigger people where appropriate. We have not been in a bear market. This is a bearish correction, and I've already explained several weeks ago why that is, okay? This was our third impulsive wave movement up, and this has been a wave 4 extending flat correction. So as bearish and pessimistic and shitty as this has felt, I have felt it with you. I went from a fleet of Lambos to a fleet of Geo Metros, like I've said before. I saw my portfolio, I looked at it and said, Jesus Christ, I can't believe my portfolio is worth that. And then I saw it correct a lot harder than I thought it would, all right? But I assure you guys, based on at least how I'm looking at it and others whom I respect are looking at it, this has been a correction and not a bear market, okay? And all we did was touch the tippy top of the prior all-time high from 2018. I mean, I don't know why everyone is so bearish, okay? It's just people feeding into emotion. It's this herd mentality just feeding into emotion. For the love of God, everybody, thumbs up. Would appreciate it. Thank you for everyone tuning in. Let's look at the price indicators here. We can see on the RSI, we're at a healthy level, kind of neutral level at about 41, 42. Stochastic RSI looks good, healthy, 97 above the 79, 78 down here. And you can see the MACD is beginning to curl up. Now, so long as we continue to see bullish momentum pick up in the market, and if my theory is correct that we're going to see Bitcoin push up towards that $28,000 to $32,000 level going into the end of the year, whether it's this month, whether it's December, going into the end of the year, I think it is very likely and possible that Bitcoin will push up towards $28,000 to $32,000, okay? But anyway, as long as that continues, you're going to see this MACD push up closer and closer to zero. And once this thing is positive like it is now, we're bullish and we're above zero, that's when the fireworks are going to start. That's when the fireworks historically start. Let's look at the 2-week. How are we looking on the 2-week? 2-week, we're about to get across. You see this on so many charts. How many charts have we looked at with the 2-week? Ethereum, Bitcoin, about to get across here. Looking real good. Stochastic RSI, healthy, bullish, looking good. RSI is at a neutral level, a little over 41, relatively neutral. And the stochastic RSI is at the 60, above the 41, real healthy, above the 20. So looking very, very positive here. Very, very positive. This shit has me amped up because while there are no certainties, I just feel very good about, and hopefully this is making sense to you. Hopefully some of the level of excitement that I have, if you didn't have it before the live stream began, maybe you're starting to feel a little bit more confident right now. Believe me, when I feel things have become overheated and this fifth wave is topping out next year, okay, I'm going to be coming out here and cautioning everyone. I'm going to be like, yes, I am the crypto bull god. Yes, I believe in this market very much. But ladies and gentlemen, this is numbers, math, and historical data. As my father would say, everything that goes up must also come down, okay? So I will be out here warning people. Right now is not the time to be warning people. I have tweeted out months ago, fucking people are saying risk off, full fucking risk on. How many times, if you guys follow me on Twitter at Crypto Bull God over here, how many times have I tweeted out that I was deploying more capital? My God, I'm deploying more fiat than I ever thought I'd be deploying this year, okay? I have been balls to the wall, risk on, knowing that we are in in some charts, uncharted territory with how sold off we are, but we are at this generational buy opportunity where if you have the right time horizon and you're not looking to get rich overnight, but you have a year horizon, a 2-year horizon, in some cases 3-year horizon, whatever the case is, far out, the levels right now are just so advantageous to get into. It's just that fear, emotion clouds your judgment. It has happened to me when I could not read a chart and I didn't know what the hell was going on with price, and I was DCAing based on fundamentals or whatever I was doing way back when. Emotions would kick me a lot harder. And the other benefit is being wrong has enabled me, being wrong in terms of the how we have corrected and the level of the correction is benefiting me because I'm choosing to learn from it. I don't sit and ponder about the what ifs and had I known what was going on and exactly, and that we were entering this fourth massive wave correction that had I sold out at these, I don't spend time thinking about that. I spend, okay, what did I do wrong? What can I learn from this? Okay, how can I read a chart better so that I can be better informed for my investments and also help to inform you guys and keep you guys abreast, right? So I choose to learn from it, and that mindset will benefit me moving forward, and I would encourage you to adopt a similar mindset if you don't have it today. This is the total 3 crypto market cap, okay? So what this is, and the reason I skipped total 2 is I just want to take a look at all the altcoins, and I want to look at excluding Ethereum, right? So this is the market capitalization of everything in the cryptocurrency industry, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. And you can see right now, I have a zone here, okay? I have this green zone and then a line here. We've just been consolidating the same sort of bullshit. We're just consolidating right in here. And if we look at our price indicators, look at the MACD curling up, look at the RSI 41.6, look at the stochastic RSI. It's getting a little overheated, but it's in a really healthy area, okay? It's still bullish. Remember, just because one indicator is getting overheated or getting really high, it doesn't mean that we're due for a correction, right? Things can be overheated and oversold for an extended period of time. All these other indicators look really healthy. All these other indicators look very healthy, okay? Now, I bet you, and I didn't look at this prior to the live stream, I bet you there's bullish divergence. Let's take a look at the RSI. Anybody want to make a bet with me that there's bullish divergence here? I promise you I did not look at this. Look at it. Wow, that is massive bullish divergence. Massive. Look at this. Jesus. Look at this thing. Look at, oh my God. Look at the RSI moving up here. Look at the strength moving up. And price is literally, we're here. We're going down. We're going down, and now we're just chippy-choppy. We're just chippy-choppy in there. So we got a lot of bullish divergence coming in on the total 3, which is really good for all of your altcoins. Let's look at the 2-week. MACD is about to cross, similar to other charts. RSI is at 41, which is a pretty neutral level, and the stochastic is 50 over the 31, which is bullish and at a very healthy level. Let's look at price action. Same sort of deal here. What we want to do is we want to begin to take out this descending line of resistance, real similar to other charts, right? But things are looking really healthy here. Now, before I get into a few other charts, okay, you can see I got 2, 4, 6, 8 charts. Any questions? Anybody want me to chart something real quick that I haven't talked about, I haven't spoken to? We're going to take a look at Harmony 1. We're going to take a look at HBAR, Mana, Cadena. We're going to take a look at OXT, Ren, and UMA. Any questions before I get into these charts? And I'll pause if I see some questions come in, because I know, this live stream's delayed. By the way, I wanted to let you guys know, I did see that YouTube put out something. They put out something for content creators to let them know that there is a gala. I'll take a look at it, my friend. Thank you for the question, Nefri. I appreciate it. Or Neffy, I'm sorry. I appreciate the question, JP. JP, I'll just call you JP. Thank you. There's a new feature coming out, and there's a video they put out to explain it, and I only watched the first 30 seconds. I didn't have time. But something about having the capability to interact with people on a live stream. So I could be far off, but I've indicated this on prior live streams that it would be so cool if I could click on someone's name here and I could bring you up, and it doesn't have to be video. I don't need to see you guys on video. I respect your privacy. I don't need to see you on video, and I don't think you want to be on video, quite frankly, most of you. But even just to get you on audio and just be like, hey, what's up, brother or sister? What can you share with me? And just share some thoughts on a chart. That's a little bit more interactive, so I'm hopeful that feature is what that's geared towards, but I'll have to take a closer look. I also have a really cool announcement on the happy hour this week. I heard back from somebody on something, and I'll have a little bit of news there. I'm excited about it. I'm happy about it. So I'll have to share some information there. So it sounds like we have a few questions. Steady and HSB, thank you for your questions. Let's take a look at them right now. I am a man of my word. Gala. We're going to take a look at Gala first. I want to do a video on this one, and oh Jesus, this is setting up beautiful. So one of the issues that I had when I had first charted out Gala was I had this on the wrong exchange. Okay. I was targeting a bounce here. If we saw a bounce, so if you measure from the top here all the way to the bottom of the retracement, which now that we had a wick there, now that we had a wick, you got to do this. I'm measuring typically things like the bounce up into the golden ratio of 0.618 and sometimes to 0.786. So I sort of marked, and the 0.702 is the midpoint. So if we do have some sort of strong bounce soon, I could see us bouncing all the way up to around 22 to 40 cents. Hard to believe, right? We're only at 3.5 cents, but 22 to 40 cents on a strong bounce. That would take place over a couple weeks. That's not in any 1 week. I wouldn't see that more than likely in 1 week. I mean, you saw strong moves here. It could happen in 1 week, but I would keep things a little bit more conservative in nature. But anyway, what else am I looking for on this chart? So let's get that off. We have a descending line of resistance, the black one that I really want to focus on. Okay. Just like that. And then I also have this blue one this light blue one as well. Now, what do I like to see on the MAC or the weekly? Beat me to it by saying MACD. What I like to see here is look at this MACD's beginning to curl up, right? Still going to be several weeks until we get above zero, but that's encouraging to see. The RSI, let's see where we're at on the RSI. We're at 37, so we're still at oversold conditions on Gala. I want to get on a smaller time frame. Oh, so I think I bounced around a little bit there that I didn't get to finish my sentence, but basically the thing that messed me up, and I would not have bought in where I did on Gala, but I'm holding strong in the 5.5 cent area, wherever the hell it was. Yeah, it was like right in this area. I wouldn't have bought in there. I didn't have all the price data. The reason I didn't have all the price data was I didn't pull this up on this exchange on KuCoin. This has all the price data. I pulled it up, I think, on Binance, which did not have all the price data, so it skewed my view of the chart, really hampered my ability to read the chart properly. So now that I have all the price data, it's not surprising to see we bounced where we bounced. This is where the FUD came in. Okay, this is where the FUD came in. You can see that strong wick, strong volume there. Let's look at the 3-day. Let's see if we see any bullish divergence. We do. So what's going on the 3-day? I'll tell you what I see. Price is going down. Okay. The RSI is moving up. So I am expecting, and I had tweeted out some lower cap ones, what I define as lower cap, anything like in the 100 below, like hundreds, 200s, 300s. I'm anticipating this being one of the lower cap ones that has a really strong surge in price sometime soon. So where would I be looking for some resistance? Let me help you out with that. So you can see where we wick to. There's obvious resistance in the 5 cent area. I'm just going to quick draw this out, all right? This is resistance, so it's red. Red is resistance, green is support, okay? So right around 5 cents. We're just going to say 5 cents. Just keep it simple. And then we have another area of resistance right around... Move that up to... Yeah, right around there. 7 cents. So it looks like what you want to watch for in the shorter term for Gala. Hey, thanks for the thumbs up buttons, everybody. I appreciate the support. What you want to watch for is a break of the descending resistance here that I have drawn, okay? But then you also want to watch for, as we come up in price, We'll get some resistance at 5. We'll get some resistance at 7. That's what you want to watch for. We don't need to talk about targets higher than 5 or 7, okay? Because we need to clear 5 and 7. Once we start getting above 5 and 7 cents, let's have a conversation, okay? But that's where we need to clear. Thank you for the question, JP. Appreciate it. HSB, I actually had an alternative thought on quant. What I'd like you to do, okay? What I'd like you to do for quant is I'd like you to go to my channel. I'm looking at it right now. I published a video on October 29th. I mean, this was literally just 9 days ago, 8 days ago, whatever. And it says quant to 1,000 or 100, okay? In that chart, I go in great level of detail on quant. Please watch the video. I don't need to chart it. Nothing has changed since my analysis. I don't need to spend time on the live stream. Please check it out. I have an entire video dedicated to quant. Check it out. Wink? Is that even a project? Wink. What am I doing? What is happening? Let's see. This is going to be my last question before we get to... Hey, no worries, HSB. I appreciate the question. It's just... I figure that makes more sense, you know? Wink is a project. Okay, so... Oh, wow. Jesus. There's a lot of price data. All right, I'm looking at this on KuCoin. Ignore that volatility. Does it look any better on Binance? All right, I'm going to keep it on Binance. So I will tell you this. The question came from Steady. So Steady, I appreciate the question. Let me just say this. When I first look at this chart, let's get off the price indicators. When I look at this, I see symmetry. This, to me, is a nice-looking chart. This is a nice-looking chart. It's not sexy. It's not sexy, but it's really nice, you know? It's like those girl, I don't actually know that I want to go that route. Let's keep it to the charts. But this is a really nice chart. It's not sexy, but it's a really nice chart. Where the hell I was going with that? Let's keep it to crypto. All right. So sometimes I got to remind myself that not everyone has the same sense of humor as me, you know? Like I'll say something that I'll want to be funny, but then I'm like, you know what? Someone might not interpret that the same way. So, and sometimes you can't be afraid. You can't be worried about hurting everybody's feelings. Like, you know what I mean? Like, cry me a river. Like, get over it. I'm joking around. But then sometimes I also don't want to come across as a dick because I'm not a dick and I don't want to come across as one. So, yeah, it's kind of a mixture of both. You know what I'm saying? We keep shit real on this channel. I don't play around. All right, we have this descending resistance, right? We almost touched it there. So the first things first, we need to break above there. This is on a weekly for Wink. By the way, Steady, thank you for, in all seriousness, thanks for pointing out this chart. I really, really appreciate the market structure here. Now, to me, this looks like it's bottomed. We can see that we've bottomed like right in that area, right? Now, I'm willing to bet, and we can see some resistance here. Let's draw some resistance. Some very evident resistance right there. There's some very evident resistance. Oh, yeah, right there. And there's some resistance right. This is really nice looking chart. And I would say even, I don't want to overcomplicate this chart, so I'm just going to keep it like that. I could draw another area of resistance right in here. I don't want to. So I'm willing to bet that there's bullish divergence on this chart, because seemingly every fucking project has bullish divergence on its chart. This is the weekly. We can even see bullish divergence coming in here. Even on the weekly, you can see the RSI increasing in value. And price, what do I mean? Look, price is just going like this. It's actually going down in value, and the RSI is increasing. But let's go to the 3-day. This is where it's going to be more evident. And again, I haven't looked at this chart, but I've looked. How did I know that there was bullish divergence on this chart? Did Steady and I have like a side conversation? He's like, bro, I'm going to point you out a chart. I want you to chart it. There's some bullish divergence going on. Fuck no. You know how bad I am at my DMs on Twitter? Have you DM'd me on Twitter? You know how bad I am at that shit? No, we didn't have a private conversation. Plus, I'm big on integrity. If we had a conversation, I would have told you. Now, I've looked at so many charts on crypto. What do I do in my spare time for fun? I'm not going to tell you everything I do in my in my time for spare fun, in my spare time for fun. But one of the predominant things I do in my spare time for fun is I spend a lot of time charting. I really do, and I'm not joking around about that. I spend a lot of time charting. So I've seen this on like every chart I've looked at. In fact, if I don't see bullish divergence on the smaller time frames like this, I'm like, wow, that's a weaker position to be in at the moment. Or maybe it ran already. It kind of front ran the market like quant, and it just doesn't have it at the moment. But here you can see that there's a really strong bullish divergence. So with the rest of the market, I would expect a breakout from Wink. Okay? There's another area of resistance. So if we do see a breakout on Wink, where could we expect it to run into some trouble? Where it could stall out at, right? Well, let's just focus on price action. Price action is king, okay, as they say. We're sitting at, there's a lot of decimals here, so I'm just going to say 1.1 cent, okay? It's 0.00010, okay? But we're just going to call it a penny, okay? So we're sitting at 1 cent right now. I see resistance at 1.2 cents, 1.6 cents, 2.1 cents, and 2.7 cents. So we have to come up here and battle all this, and this, and this, and this. Okay, so that's what I see. I hope that was helpful, Steady. Thanks for the question. I really appreciate the chart. Justin's son, the little brother of Tron. Interesting. I'll have to look into that. Little brother of Tron. Interesting. Yeah, Tron's one of those, like, Justin's son is what's, I can't think of the right word. It's sort of like a hot topic in crypto. It's like a lot of people just don't like him, and I don't know, I'm kind of neutral. I don't follow anything with Tron. I'm not invested in it. I've never bought any. I don't know. But it's one of those, like, has a cult following, you know. A lot of projects have a cult following. I see a question on Algo HSB. Thank you for the question. We'll get into it. I want to get to a few more charts here. So, do I even have an Algo chart, or do I have to chart it out? Okay, I have an Algo chart. So we'll take a look at it, but let me get through a few more charts here. Thank you for the question. How many more times am I going to say thank you for the question? So right before I started live streaming, like I said, the market decided to take a little bit of a shit. But Harmony One was up at 1.10 cents today, or 10 cents. It was up 10 cents. Jesus Christ, that would have been awesome if it was up 10 cents. Harmony One hit 12 cents today. Woo! No, it was up 10%, okay? So again, for everyone who thinks Harmony One is dead, I would invite you to go to my channel, and I clearly lay out why, just based on the charts. I felt like I did a very good job of logically walking you through a few charts and displaying commonalities with other charts, as well as displaying greater strength in Harmony One relative to some charts. There is a video. It is 18 minutes in length, and it is dedicated totally to Harmony One, just like I did a quant video. I published it on October 25th, okay? It only has 479 views. It does not have a lot of views, okay? Go check it out. But this is a weekly chart. What is good to see here, I have a key area of RSI at about 40. Whenever we've seen the RSI above 40 and we've seen a positive cross above the EMA, or the simple moving average, excuse me, on the RSI here, you can see the red circles. We have seen, okay, when this cross happened, big move up. Cross happened, big move up, okay? So we want this RSI to get above 40 and see the cross, because that would likely tell us, okay, possible, no certainty, we'd see a big move up, all right? So that's the first thing I would point out here. The second thing is, look at this MACD. This MACD is beautiful. I love this MACD. I love you, MACD. All right, so the MACD, similar to other charts on the weekly, it's starting to recover. We're starting to gain some ground, right? This is the story here, right? Now, I'm not saying this is going to go up in a straight line up and we're going to cross above zero tomorrow. We need this thing to get above zero. We may flatten out a little bit here, and it might take until the end of the year. But this is setting up on the weekly to see a positive cross going into the end of the year. This is very, very bullish, okay? Stochastic RSI is great. It's a very, very healthy level. Let's look at the 2-week. Look at what is happening on the 2-week. How many times have I pointed this out on the other charts. Look at the MACD is about to cross here. I want to just focus on the MACD. Forget the stochastic RSI is healthy. It's healthy. The RSI is at 40. Okay, it's at a decent level. But the MACD is about to cross. This is huge. Look at this rounding bottom here. Very similar to other charts. Okay. Now, if we're looking at the Holy Crypto Trinity, and we're looking at all three charts and we're being unbiased with our emotions on fundamentals and we're just looking at the data in order of the strongest to the weakest at the moment, it's Harmony 1, number one. Number one. 2 is H-bar and 3 is Mana. Okay, that's how the charts are looking right now. The greatest level of strength, believe it or not, is coming into Harmony 1. Followed by H-bar, followed by Mana. And keeping that in mind, I have pointed to this chart so many times. This chart is telling me that more than likely, not definitively, more than likely Harmony 1 will outpace from a price appreciation standpoint from current price levels. It will outpace H-bar, okay? This is just a chart of 1 over H-bar. And you can see we're in a massive channel up. So what about this chart is leading you to conclude, while it is a possibility, what is leading you to conclude that we're going to see a breakdown and the rate of appreciation in H-bar is going to outpace 1? I don't see anything here. I don't see anything. In fact, I have targeted ranges between 0.8 all the way up to like nearly all the way up to 2. Okay? Meaning that the USD value at some point for Harmony 1 will be at 0.8 to 2 times the USD value of H-bar. So keep an eye on this chart. I mean, if we look at the 2-week, it's looking very healthy. I have a range here on the RSI. I think this corresponds to the 1 week. This corresponds to the 1 week, and I also think the 10-day. We want to get above the 44 and ultimately like the 50 level. We're above the 44 right now, which is good to see on the weekly. If we go to the 10-day, I like to look at this one on the 10-day. We're just peaking above 44, okay? Just peaking above 44. I got you covered, Brian. Thanks for the question. We want to get above the 49.50 area, okay? But this chart is setting up beautifully right now. The close this week on both the weekly, 2-week, and 10-day candle has me very encouraged. Look, we're pressing up against this descending resistance right here. Things are looking good. I will be very curious to see where this chart is at in January of next year, which is CBG's birth month, believe it or not. I'm going to be turning the age of something between the age of 10 and 60. That's how old I'm going to be turning this January. All right, let's get into H-bar. H-bar, as you can see, okay, so I want to give you something that's very optimistic, though. This is a little frustrating, right? Descending resistance. Can we please get above there? And we can't get above 6.2 cents and stay above it. Ladies and gentlemen, I do have some positive things to share. Okay, price indicators all looking great. I'm not going to be redundant here. Everything's looking great. 2-week, similar story, as 1. Okay. But what do I want to show you? The 3-day and the fact that what are we doing? Look at this massive bullish divergence on H-bar. I am expecting a rocket ship soon on H-bar. Look at this RSI increasing, and look at price. Look at price. Going down in value, right? At some point, what do I think is going to happen? The odds I feel are in the favor at some point, in the shorter term, that we're going to go like this. Okay? And we're going to come up here. Maybe we temporarily invalidate and come all the way up to here. Okay? And then maybe we bounce back down to here and form support. And then maybe we continue moving up. I could see something like that playing out. But I see a large movement in I almost said Harmony 1. Well, I see a large movement in Harmony 1. I see a large movement with the rest of the market in H-bar pushing us up towards this 9, 10, 11 cent area. Yes, and we're sitting at 5.4 cents. So that would be like a 2x. That is correct. Mana, not much has changed. If we look at the weekly, it's still similar, not as strong as the other charts with the MACD. RSI's at 35. It's a little lower. Keep in mind, this thing had a very strong run. This thing went ballistic. The last time we were at these price levels, Go back to my tweets in 2021. I was saying, thank you. I couldn't thank my hands for buying quick enough. I bought in these levels and rode this thing up, not as high as $6. I was selling well below $6. But I rode this thing up pretty damn high, okay? We went from, 60 cents all the way up to $6 and pulled a 10X nearly overnight, okay? I remember that euphoric time. If we look at the 2-week... yeah, we can see that we are flattening out. We're flattening out. Not as bullish on the price indicators, though, here. We're looking good, but not. You can see even the stochastic RSI isn't even above 20. So if I had to, again, take an educated guess based on the charts, I think there's a higher likelihood that 1 is the first one that you really see start to pop off of the 3 here. I think that we could start to see 1 begin to pop off towards the 4 to 6 cent area. So that's a 2 to 3x from where we're at. I think H-bar will relatively pop around the same time, but be a little delayed, and this thing's going to get up towards this 9 to 11 cent area. And then Mana, I think will be more of the laggard, and eventually it's going to pop off and start breaking this resistance here at $1.13. We're going to push up towards this looks like $1.69 to $2 area, which would represent a 2 to 3x from where we're at. Let's get into Cadena. Cadena is one of these newer ones that I'm planning to establish a position in. I get paid on Thursday, and I'm planning to exchange some fiat for Cadena. I was planning on exchanging some fiat for Reef, but we're up 12%, so I don't know that that's going to happen. We were all the way below 0.5 cents, and I was like, yeah, I'm buying more of that, but it's popped off like 13% or 12%, whatever, so I don't think that's going to happen. But anyway, Cadena is one of these ones I'm looking to establish a position in. Let's just look at the 3-day and what's going on here. Guys, again, similar to other charts, we see massive bullish divergence as price has been going down. RSI is going up. This one I could see, this is sitting at a market cap of around 126 position. This thing I could see popping off real soon here, okay? Now, if we do pop off on this one, okay? If we do pop off, we want to break this descending resistance. And ultimately, what we want to do is break this lower high here. That's the first thing we want to do. The lower high when we popped off last time was around 246, all right? We're sitting at 130. Let's break that, and the next level I'm looking at ultimately, right around, it's a zone. I want to break around 338 to 357, all right? So I want price to start to come off here and test these levels, and then eventually form support here and continue up. But this one looks really mega bullish. OXT is just another one. I don't know a lot about the project. I just know it's a low market cap, has the potential to run hard. You can see price just sort of consolidating in this range. What's the RSI doing, guys? Bullish divergence. Every fucking chart I'm pointing to, bullish divergence on the RSI. How many times can I say this? This thing has the potential to run hard because it's such a low market cap. Ultimately, I want to see how price interacts. When this thing pops, there's other areas of resistance. Let's just talk about one area in particular. This area right there around 20 cents. We're sitting at 10 cents. Let's see when we can pop off and form 20 cents as support and start to ride up, because that's when the fireworks could really start to begin in this guy. Ren, not too much more to say here. This thing has been consolidating for quite some time. It's a lower market cap again. Its all-time high is 193. We have some bullish divergence on the RSI on the weekly. If we flip the 3-day, you'll see the same thing. We're coiled up here. Look what's going on. Everybody new tuning in, appreciate the thumbs up for support. Look what's going on after we dropped. We're just coiling in here. I'm just waiting for a massive break up to these levels at 42 to 60 cents. We're sitting at 13 cents. I'm personally waiting for a break up towards 42 to 60 cents. Do the math on that. UMA. This is one of my larger swing trade plays that I plan to play out over the shorter term here, that I think there is opportunity for massive movement. Never financial advice, just telling you, I put my money where my mouth is. Massive bullish divergence on the 3-day, similar to some other charts. This thing has just been going sideways seemingly forever. It's a lower market cap around 160, 170. Its all-time high is at $44, and we're sitting at $2.25. If this did a similar move as Band Protocol, which I'm not saying it will, but it would also coincide with some price confluence, you could see this thing skyrocket in a week or two all the way up to $7 and really pull like a 3x. Okay, my eyes are on this real tight because I have a decent position in this for a swing trade up. I think it's bottomed out. We're due for a major move up, so we'll have to see what the rest of the market. All right, so we're going to take a look at Algo and Atom, and then I think I'm going to close things out looking at what time it is. We're hitting up against 6:45 here. CBG needs to eat at some point. Guys, I'll tell you what, I hope you appreciate the content if you do hit the thumbs up button. You know, this market, like I said, I've been doing TA for a real long time, and, you know, crypto is a different beast, okay? If you can read charts and you're proficient with technical analysis, I would say, hold up, brother or sister. Even though you may be a proficient technical analyst, there's this guy, I can't remember his name. I'm forgetting his name. He's a prominent TA guy, really well known, and I can't believe I forget his name. He's been wrong so many times on crypto. You can go back and read his tweets. Crypto is a different animal. If you allow it, it'll really harden you. It'll really harden you. That's what she said. But the best thing you can do when you're kind of thrown off guard from a lot of the movements that crypto provides you with and the volatility, learn from it. Take a positive view and learn from it. You can benefit from it. I've been here for, like I said, a very long time, and I've learned so much in this market, and I'll continue to learn so much in the market. And it only benefits me to take that viewpoint for my own investment portfolio and also for you guys to help you out. So hopefully you take the same sort of approach. But, you know, Atom is something that we took a look at before. I can see that because we charted it out. We had some temporary resistance we've broken through. Let's get rid of this line. We don't need to pay attention to that anymore. Really, it's all about this descending line of resistance here. What the hell's going on with the chart? I can't. It's really frustrating. Let's get off this auto scale. It's kind of annoying. So we have descending resistance. I bet you there's bullish divergence. I don't even need to look at this chart. Thank you for the question, but yeah, I don't, you know, we can talk about it on the happy hour, but on this channel, the format of this channel is, the format of this live stream is very different from the happy hour. I keep it strictly to TA. We can show up at the HSB. I appreciate the question, and thank you for everyone new tuning in. Hit the thumbs up button. I appreciate the question. If you're there at the happy hour, feel free to ask away and we can discuss, but this is all TA here. I don't want to go into fundamental stuff. Anyway, this price is just chippy choppy with the rest of the market. You know, and I already have resistance drawn out here, 68, 80, and $1. That's what I have drawn out, okay? Nothing's changed. So is there anything occurring within this? Oh, look at it. Come on. Guys, this isn't even a bullish divergence. This is literally like a rounding bottom curling up. We should expect an explosive move more than likely in algo soon. Now, it doesn't have to. I'm not telling you it's going to, guys. This thing, the RSI could plummet, the price could plummet. I'm not telling you that it can't do that. Of course, there's a probability for everything. This is what people miss. I'm not telling you what's going to happen. I'm telling you more than likely, based on what is evident here, and also with my hypothesis, my educated view, that the rest of the market is going to continue to appreciate massively in value going into the end of the year. Yes, algo is due for a massive pop-up. I'm not even going to look at the 3-day time frame because I know there's greater bullish divergence than what's here. This is giving you, like every other asset we've looked at, okay? Thank you for everyone new tuning in. Hit the thumbs up button. I appreciate everybody that's new tuning in. This is giving you an opportunity to buy in. That's all this is. Think about this. This does not look like, I want you to look at this, what's going on. This doesn't look like a lot of price action, right? Look, there's only a few candlesticks, right? This has been taking place since May. For 6 months, this shit's been going on. This is what weeds people out over and over and over again. I hit on the same points on this channel, and I hope some people out there hear me. I've been here long enough to know this shit weeds you out. And then you have a YouTuber with 512,000 subscribers who comes on and puts out those types of thumbnails, and that shit weeds people out. And then he talks about certainties with prices. There's no certainties with prices. There's probabilities. It irks me to no end to see someone with that much influence in the market come out and put out bullshit videos speaking to certainties when he knows damn well there are no certainties in the market. There's only probabilities, okay? There's no certainty this thing's going to pop off. But what I see in this chart is telling me this price action weeds people out. RSI is increasing in value. It is increasing in value as price is going stagnant. More than likely, algo is due for a massive pop towards 68 cents to $1. And we are, so you can tell I'm getting a little heated right now. We are sitting at 42 cents. This thing is giving you an opportunity to perhaps do a 50% to 2.2x return. I'm pretty good with math. This is giving you, again, the opportunity to do a 0.5 to 2.25x return. Okay, 1.5, excuse me. That's what it's giving you an opportunity for. So that's what I see on algo. Wow, this is a messy chart. Apparently when I get irritable, I also scribble on charts. There was one more question that came in. I'm going to look at one more chart. And for all those that missed the beginning of the live stream, I know I started pretty early at 5:30 Eastern. Feel free to go back to the start. I covered a lot of really good charts. I appreciate everyone new tuning in. I'm getting a little bit higher engagement than I typically get, especially for the size of this channel, so I appreciate it. The last one that someone wanted me, oh, Adam, you know what's funny is I actually wanted to pull that one up and I forgot to. There was one other one, Algoron, I wanted to look at, but we'll look at it another time. Adam. So this is going to be the last chart, guys. Let's take a look at Adam together. Again, this is the same thing as Binance. We were in this ascending triangle. And again, anyone telling you that this was a bear flag and a pennant, they're correct in the formation. But if anyone's telling you literally that formation had a high likelihood of playing out, they were being moronic because the technical pattern, probably if I drew it, it would go below zero. So it doesn't make any sense, right? This I spoke to was an ascending triangle many, many weeks ago, and look what's happened. We've broken out. And this is one of these ones where, similar to Matic, I was 3 cents away from what I was targeting at $1.34. We hit $1.31. This is one of these ones that played out perfect. Look at this wick. I haven't moved this thing. We literally wicked this red resistance. So what are we doing right now? Well, first off, we have a low, a high, and a higher low, right? This low is higher. These are two lows, with this one being higher than this one, correct? Okay. And then we have a high coming in, right? This high is our first high. So what we want to see right now is we want to break $21, okay? We need to break, obviously for Adam, we need to break 17. That's a foregone conclusion so long as momentum continues to pick up in the market. Let's get off price indicators. Let's just look at price action. Price action's king. Get off the indicators. The next time we come up to 17, it's no guarantee, but I would say there's a high likelihood 17 could break, and now we're starting to test 21, right? So let me give you some other areas beyond 21, because once 21 starts to break, we should at least have an idea of where price could go, right? Let's hook you guys up with that. Well, there's definitely resistance there, but we have resistance well before there. I would actually draw, I want to redraw that. So we have, again, this is on a weekly view on Adam. So I see some resistance there. I see some resistance there. Let's actually draw some resistance where we could expect it to come in first before we go higher. So once we break 21, I see 24, let's round this, 25.50. Let's just call it 25.50. 21, 24, 25.50, and $30. That's what I see for Adam. So once we break 17, I see 21, 24, 25.50, $30. Okay? Remember, don't overcomplicate your life when you draw areas of resistance or look at support and whatnot. There are zones, right? So if you told me, I almost said my real name, CBG, you have $17.18.5. I drew resistance as $17.19.3. Go hit your head against the wall. Okay, beat your head against the wall a few times. Just do that for me, please, please. Never advice, but just a suggestion. beat your head against the wall for me, all right? And really ask yourself, what are you asking me, okay? Is there really a difference between $17.18.5 or $17.19.3? Probably not, ladies and gentlemen. And this is a guy who rounds. This is a guy who works with people who round to the nearest 1/1,000,000th of a decimal point, okay? This is why I try to add humor in my job, and this is why I try to add humor on the channel, because it doesn't fucking matter, all right? At the end of the day, it's fucking $17, all right? So don't get too cute with resistance and support, all right? You're damn right. All I have is positive energy. Woo! Didn't want to yell too loud there because I know the microphone's a little sensitive. Didn't want to blast out the ear. I'm feeling energetic today. I feel good, you know? I was suffering with some sleep last week. I'm feeling great this week. I feel fucking fantastic. All right, and the markets are picking up too, and I'm getting a little excited about it, as you can tell. All right. So with that being said, I wanted to keep you guys in the loop. You know, work is definitely picking up. Pretty damn busy at work. So might be working a few extra hours here and there that are beyond the normal shift. There's a lot going on, but I'm going to do my best to get out a video tomorrow. I don't even know what video it's going to be. I have a list of things. I will do my best. Either way, there will be a live stream for the Bitcoin Crypto Happy Hour, as always, on either Wednesday or Thursday. And then I'm going to try to even get another TA video out later in the week. So make sure that you're subscribed, clicking the bell icon. I love this little clicky. It's going to come in handy during our true bull euphoric top as I'm hitting it multiple times. These things are hitting multiple all-time highs. And you will all celebrate with me on a live stream where we will fucking go apeshit crazy and we will chug beers together. It could be at any point during the day, any day of the week, but we're going to have a good fucking time next year at some point. So I still have that Johnny Walker Blue Label, Ghost Distillery, Ghost Rare, whatever the hell it's called, Ghost Distillery, rare bottle. It's a distillery they closed down, Jack Daniels. It's a Blue Label and unopened from March of 21. If you go back and look at that video, it's still sitting there unopened, waiting to be opened. Anyway, guys, look forward to more videos coming out this week. I appreciate the support. Click the bell icon for notifications. Unclick the bell icon and re-click it. I've heard problems with it, but I appreciate the support. Make sure to share this video with at least one person. And continue to spread awareness and carry the education forward. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. I need to go eat.